Do you want to know what else it comes with? An audio jack.
You want to know what else the S8 doesn't come with? An audio jack. What's up, guys? Everything Samsung Pro, and today we're gonna... Wait, did I say that right? I don't know. No, this is an Apple channel. We can't talk about any competition or anything like that. No way. Guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Apple's biggest competitor, Samsung, with their Samsung Galaxy S8. And I'm going to be talking about why this phone is going to be completely remarkable. It's just going to be beginning of a new era. They're going to beat Apple to the punch with a bezel-free, beautiful design. We're going to be talking about everything we know about this brand new phone that's going to be releasing here very shortly. And I'm very excited because Samsung competing with Apple is a very good thing for Apple. It forces them to upgrade their technology where they would wait even longer. If no one was competing with Apple, Apple would be releasing a larger phone maybe just this year. Oh my goodness, competition is good. Thank you, Samsung, for leading the world forward in terms of innovation. So let's talk about your newest creation. So the question I have is, what will it look like? It's hard to improve upon a design that already looks so good. The edge-to-edge display was surely very futuristic when it launched earlier this year, and especially last year with the S6. So how can they even take this further? How much better can it get? Well, this year, Samsung is going to be releasing a phone that looks similar to this. Of course, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. Samsung leaks, they're not the same as Apple's. For some reason, Apple components leak from the assembly line so much more often than Samsung's. But we do have a lot of information from reputable sources that are saying that the entire surface of the phone is going to be covered in a display now. So very similar to the Xiaomi Mi Mix I did show you guys the other day. This is the future of phones. Like I said, everybody is moving towards a phone that'll be completely display, no bezel. And I think that with the Galaxy, it'll look so beautiful because not only will it be a full phone display, it'll also be curved around the whole thing. So just a couple concepts of what it might look like. None of these do reflect the fact that it'll be the whole phone. The displays will be larger, but they will still take up the same amount of space on the front of the phone. There will be two models. Basically, the model lineup will be the 5.7-inch and 6.2-inch Samsung Galaxy S8. Now hold up a minute. Don't get to a point where displays just get too big and unusable. Well, not in this case, because these phones are actually going to stay the exact same size. Both of the Plus larger model and the smaller one will just be getting bigger displays, but the form factor will be exactly the same, very similar. I actually measured it out, and that's literally the size of the display from edge to edge would be 5.7 and 6.2 inches. And the flat screen model will no longer be happening. So in order to simplify the lineup so you don't have to choose, they're just making both of the phones the curved edge displays. So that means the naming scheme will change. As a result, it'll just be the Samsung Galaxy S8 and Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Very simple, very effective. So with the removal of that home button, it raises a question. Where is that fingerprint sensor gonna go? Is it gonna go in the back like the Pixels? No. Samsung actually has an even better solution with optical recognition technology. Basically, it replaces the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that's down here and implements it into an extra layer on top of the display glass. So that means faster recognition and more accurate while being able to use it anywhere on the display. The iPhone 8 is rumored to have this technology, but Galaxy is going to beat them to it. So the resolution is going to stay at 2K resolution. It's not really going to go up because at this point in time, this is so sharp, so incredible compared to most smartphones on the market. There's really no point in putting a 4K display, which was rumored. And besides that, most GPUs can't even handle like gaming or intense tasks with that kind of a screen resolution. So what Samsung is doing is even better than upping the resolution. They're changing the sub-pixel structure from a diamond pentile structure to a standard RGB. Now, getting into the details, when you zoom in really close, you can tell the way that the pixels are structured. Now, the reason most Android phones need a higher resolution on the display is because a diamond pentile structure doesn't look very sharp. It's jagged. So the more resolution you have, the easier it is to disguise that. Now, when they switch it over, it'll look better. It'll be a longer lasting display. It'll use less power, and it'll be more immersive for virtual reality. You know, Samsung, they've been pushing for virtual reality for a while with their phones, and this will only help further that. The display material is going to be Gorilla Glass 5. Given how the Note 7 was, it's only natural that they would upgrade this one to the same spec. Now, the last thing I want to say about the display is it's going to receive a feature rumored taken straight from the iPhone. Of course, 3D Touch. Now, this was originally rumored to happen with the S7, but the S8 is going to take this pressure-sensitive technology and incorporate it into the S8 display. And the source for this is from the investor, which is saying multiple industry sources claim that Samsung is currently mulling the idea of adding a pressure-sensitive display to its next-generation smartphone. And it's about time. They might have been perfecting the software while they never added it to the S7. They had to perfect it to add it to the S8. And I hope they have their own twist on it. It would be pretty lame if they just took it, stuck it in the S8, and didn't do anything extra with it.
I'm just saying.
First they mock and laugh at Apple about removing the headphone jack, and now they're doing it themselves. Man, how tides turn. So the Galaxy S8 is rumored not to have a headphone jack. Sam Mobile is reporting that it's almost guaranteed to happen. They're ditching it in an attempt to make the phone slimmer, have more room for internals such as battery life, and the best part about them removing it is the fact that you can now have stereo speakers. They'll have a place to fit an extra speaker inside of the phone. So it's not all that bad to be part of the future. Of course, it just hurts to axe that feature that everyone's been using for so many years, but everyone's gonna do it soon, literally everybody. Anyway, so they might fit stereo speakers inside the S8. This is in collaboration with Harman Kardon, which they did purchase earlier, meaning they might have some really, really great speakers. They've really never been a strong suit of the Galaxies. I do not like the speaker on the S7. It's not that great, so using some of Harman's tech definitely could make it better. And yeah, you better bet that USB-C is going to be standard on the S8. Just like the Note 7 Gorilla Glass 5, they're going to bring it over to the S8. So let's talk about power, an area that Android hasn't been doing too very well in because of Qualcomm, because of Exynos. So these companies just aren't at the level of Apple right now. The progress Apple has been making with their A10, A9 chips is incredible. How much power they can get from such seemingly low-spec chips. It's very good optimization. And now with a new chip, hopefully the S8 will be just as fast or faster versus the iPhone. So the Snapdragon 835, which was just announced the other day, is rumored to make its way over to the S8. This means higher single-core speeds, and a leaked document says that the Snapdragon 835 is going to be released in Q1 of 2017, so that kind of plays into the timeline of the release of the S8. I really, really hope they wait for that chip and don't put the A21 in, because the A21 is pretty disappointing on the phones I've tested it on, the Pixel, the Xiaomi or whatever. There's just it's not that great, so I really do hope they wait for the 835. It will be an octa-core chip with an upgraded GPU, the Adreno 540, so hopefully it will finally reach the level of the 810. And 4 to 6 gigabytes of RAM is expected, not really sure, there's no concrete rumors on that. And the news on the camera on the back seems to be split. So some people are saying it's going to be a dual camera, some saying it's going to be a single, and some sources just recently say, just like Apple's structure, the larger S8 Plus model is the one that's going to have the dual lens camera. It's going to consist of a 12 and 13 megapixel sensor, while the smaller one is just going to retain the same megapixel sensor from the S7. There will of course be improvements to it, but which ones and in what way we don't know right now. Just a dual camera could be likely for the larger model. Very unusual to actually see him like this. There's a mouse trap. He's not doing his job very well. Also on the front, kind of impressive. They're actually going to add an autofocus motor to the front-facing camera and bump it to 8 megapixels. So just slightly outdoing Apple always by 1 megapixel. But that means sharper images. It's going to focus much better on you when taking front-facing photos. And this could be happening, a light ring around the rear camera. So this already exists on one Android phone. Basically, it lets you know when the rear camera locks in on your face if you want to take rear camera selfies. That's pretty much the only use for it. So as far as the camera goes, there will be improvements to both, but we don't have too many details on that. I wish I could share about battery life, but nothing has surfaced about that. It's expected to be the same milliamps at least, if not bigger, but that's just about it. That's the Galaxy S8. The most impressive thing for sure will be the full feature display on the front of the phone, eliminating the home button completely, and pretty much this thing is rumored to be what the iPhone 8 will be, but earlier. And we'll see, we'll have to see how Samsung manages to do, and then Apple. Of course, I will be comparing them eventually when they do come out, but I gotta say, I'm extremely excited for the S8. I was so excited for the S7 when it came out because it did so much that Apple wasn't doing. The water resistance was back, the huge display, the curve, the beautiful design of it, how comfortable it is. I love this thing. So I know the S8 will be a great phone. Hopefully they don't rush it. So what about release dates? We're looking at an April to March release date, somewhere in there. There's been a rumor that it might come out in February, but believe me, No, that won't happen. The reason the Note 7 failed so bad was because it was such an ambitious project and they rushed it to compete with the iPhone 7. So they're not going to do that this time. Expect a release date in March or April, somewhere around there like usual. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this is a bit different, but this is competition of Apple. I want to be on top of what's happening, how they're competing, because it directly translates to what Apple does with their iPhones down the road as well. Okay, have a great day. Stay tuned for this. I'll be sure to update when any more news comes out. Peace.